T-Butter go crazy.
They like country need another one. They like country need another one. Quasi going crazy.
Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say this shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business. Ain't no money, I ain't showing up. Don't know how to act. A bunch of country niggas pulling up. Okay, turn me up. Now they say they want that country shit. Okay, now turn me up. Now they see I be that energy. I make them turn me up. Yeah, I know they tryna finish me, but it just turn me up.
Turn me up, Jay.
Fresh to death on camouflage. Gotta keep a foot up on their necks cause they might sabotage. I ain't come for peace, I brought the mask, bout to terrorize. Step. If you ain't hating, nigga, keep that bullshit to yourself. Get my bop on you niggas. Don't never question if I'm a real nigga. I get a lot for you niggas. Bitch, they thought I was finished, but I got a lot for you niggas. Lil John on them niggas. I'm the bra on them niggas. I'm the hottest in the business. Okay, put me in the mix. I can tell you used to lame niggas that ain't this. Think you coming up a bag, you ain't getting shit. You say wanna fuck, but now she see a nigga lit.
Country for life in this bitch.
Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say this shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business. Ain't no money, I ain't showing up. Don't know how to act. A bunch of country niggas pulling up. Okay, turn me up. Now they say they want that country shit. Okay, now turn me up. Now they see I be that energy. I make them turn me up. Yeah, I know they tryna finish me, but it just turn me up.
Turn me up, Jay.
I'm like Block Boy.
YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy Tito, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And tonight's live is going to be on, guys, 12 players that are skyrocketing up your rankings in your first week of your players. So listen, these guys aren't guys that you should be picking up off the waivers because they probably already picked up. These aren't guys that you should be trading because the trade deadline is gone. These are guys that are going to be booming, that has a chance to boom. And if you've got them on your team, you should feel good. And if you got to go against them, you need to be aware and make the right accommodations because these guys are booming. So I'm picking 12 guys from all different facets from each position. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. So let's begin, guys. Let's talk about some news before I get to my players. I'm going to talk about a little bit of news. So Quay Walker, the linebacker from the Green Bay Packers. He did not play. He did not participate in. He didn't play last week, and he did not participate in today's practice. Hopefully, he plays. I have him in an IDP league. Also, I have Green Bay defense in a couple of leagues. Kyle Hamilton, the guy that went the Baltimore Ravens defensive back that plays in the box. He practiced on a limited basis. Remember, he hurt his knee, and he's already limited practices. Guys, he's probably going to play. So that's a tremendous news for anybody that has the Baltimore defense, which I like a lot. Will Levis was a limited participant. He's going to play. That just whatever reason. Dearness Johnson, the guy that I talked to you about stashing, also one of my subscribers who was on her. I want to give her credit. Charlene, she talked about him stashing. He was limited at practice today. Jamin Davis, the linebacker for the Washington Commanders, he is placed on IR, so he would not be for you for the playoffs, and that defense is not that good. But sometimes defenses that people target in IDP, you can target some of those linebackers, and they can get a lot of tackles for you. But he's out for the rest of the season. Noah Brown. A lot of people like Noah Brown. I wasn't that high on Noah Brown because I just think he's just another guy. I think he can have boom games when you have a quarterback like C.J. Stroud, but C.J. Stroud is probably not going to play. He did not practice today on the concussion protocol, and Noah Brown had a limited practice. Michael Wilson, the wide receiver for Arizona Cardinals, who hasn't played since Kyler Murray, been at maybe one game, he was on a limited practice today. Dalton Schultz fully practiced, so he's probably going to be there. So you can sit Brevin Jordan or drop Brevin Jordan. Let's see here. Nico Collins doesn't practice. He didn't practice today. So Rico Dowdle was a limited practice. That's nothing. That's just maintenance. Looked like Tutu's probably not going to play this week. He did not practice, so that looked like it's going to be a DeMarcus Robinson, another start again. Aiden O'Connor is expected to play, but is expected to start for the Raiders. But if he plays bad in the first half, be ready for Jimmy Garoppolo to come out. So you can stash Jimmy Garoppolo if he's on your waivers, if you need a quarterback. If you had Justin Herbert and you went down. Devontae Adams was listed as questionable. That's usual. And Josh Jacobs was listed as questionable. Is listed for questionable for Thursday. So I'm actually stashing Zamir Wright because I'm worried about Josh Jacobs. So I'm stashing Zamir Wright. Keenan Allen was out. Is listed as out for Thursday. So that looks like Keenan Allen would not be playing this week. That's rough. Let's see. Jaden Real dealing with ankle injuries. I'm scared about that with Jordan Love. If you don't have Jaden Reed or Christian Watson, I don't know if Jordan Love going to have enough weapons to be a fantasy starting quarterback. Alexander Madison did not practice today. He did not practice, so it looks like he's probably going to miss with that high ankle sprain. And Trevor Lawrence opened up with a full week of practice. Trevor Lawrence is a strong, he's a beast. That guy pushes through injury. We got to put some respect on his name. Christian Watson did not practice. Zach Wilson is practicing. TJ Watt is making a full recovery, so he will be probably playing this week. And Tyreek Hill did not practice, but it looks like he's gonna. I don't know. I think he's gonna play. Knowing what they got to play for, I think he's gonna play. Let's see here. Malik Cunningham signed with the Ravens, which is kind of weird. They already got Tyler Huntley, but it is what it is. Rashid Shaheed was limited today. So who knows if he plays? Derek Carr, sidesteps injury report. I'm not playing anybody for the New Orleans Saints, really, outside of Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara. And that's about it, guys, as far as anything else that really matters. All right. So let's begin. Let's get started on my 12 players that I believe are skyrocketing up the rankings. So, guys, make sure you spam the chat, put your 100 symbol, let me know you're here. And let's begin. The first guy that is skyrocketing up the rankings is James Cook. I said what I said. Yes, guys, James Cook. And the reason why I love James Cook, guys, is because when Ken Dorsey got fired, which is the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, James Cook has been touching the ball 15 times a game. Now, I still didn't like the way they used him. They still took him out a couple of times and put Latavius Murray in there, and that was disgusting. That's something wrong. Hey, listen, something is wrong with Buffalo offensive coaches. I don't know if Josh Allen got something on him. That was why in the hell are you running routes with Latavius Murray where he running wheel routes and you got James Cook? That's weird. that is completely, guys, I'm telling you, it's a lot of us that are smarter than a lot of those offensive coordinators. I said what I said. It's a lot of fantasy football guys right now that's in this live that are smarter than the offensive coordinators. I said what I said. We might not know the little small nuances that they do that makes them be around that type of environment every day. But for who in the hell on this channel that's watching this live would take James Cook out when it's 3rd and 6? Who in the hell doing that? And he must be tired, something going on. But anyway, I love James Cook. I think he's a tremendous athlete. Now, he might not be a full-time bell cow where you're giving him 20 touches a game, but I believe he should touch the ball 15 times, kind of like Tony Pollard was last year. Tony Pollard was touching the ball better than James Cook was last year. So I don't understand that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, guys, make sure if you got James Cook, you start him every single week. You start him. Moving on to my second guy. This is a wide receiver from the Baltimore Ravens, and it's Zay Flowers. Yes, guys, it's Zay Flowers. Let me tell you something about Zay Flowers. If y'all go back and watch my videos throughout this whole year, I've told y'all the whole year he may have a bad game, but that doesn't mean that he's not the number one on this team. I'm not saying he's the number one right now, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But Zay Flowers is a star. He's a wide receiver too, if you ask me, or a flex play that I'm starting. Guys, that's why I tell y'all not to drop guys. Look how Zay Flowers was giving you only 8 points for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. But if you watch the game, you could tell that this was the wide receiver that was targeting if they couldn't win the game with Lamar running the ball or Gus Ellis running the ball or Keith Mitchell. So that's why I stayed on Zay. Now I'm in the playoffs. I feel great about going down with the ship. Listen, I was the 6th seed in the league, had to play against the number 1 seed, only lost 3 times. He had Tyreek Hill. He had a killer squad. And I played Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham, just to give y'all a little bit of knowledge. I'm going to talk about Odell too. Odell Beckham, and both of them gave me 20 points. Both of them gave me 20 points, and I won that week by like 20 points. Why would I play with Odell when he only had like 8 points last week? Because I'm watching the game and I'm going down with the ship, the guys that I know are elite players. It don't always work that way in fantasy, but most of the time it does. So that's why I love Zay Flowers, guys. He's a great wide receiver that's young, and rookie wide receivers break out in the 4th quadrant and also the second half of the season. They start booming. So that's why you play rookie wide receivers, because they know all the nuances. They know how to line up on the line of scrimmage. They know what route to run. They know how to read the quarterback when he makes his signals. All of that comes in. That's why I love playing young rookie wide receivers in the second half of the season or in the 4th quadrant, which is your fantasy football playoffs. So Zay Flowers is a boom guy. All right, so let's move on to my next guy. This is my 3rd skyrocketing player that's booming right now. It's Odell Beckham. I played Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham on the same team and got into the playoffs. And I was the 6th seed, and I needed to win against the number 1 seed who got a killer squad. I'm talking about Tyreek, Devontae, Derrick Henry, Josh Allen. He got a killer squad. But I boomed, and I sit David Njoku, and I had to because the type of team that I had. You don't have to start a tight end in that league. And Odell Beckham, guys, is the number 1 wide receiver. Now, listen, let me tell you why I didn't believe that the Baltimore Ravens should have picked up Odell Beckham and made him be Lamar #1 wide receiver. Say this is his weapon, and Lamar agreed to it. I'm like, where he coming off 2 knee injuries with a broken ankle, and he's older. He's like 30, and he's a smaller guy. Lamar need a tall 6'2", 6'3" guy like a D-Hop. And Odell comes out at the beginning of the season, and he looks kind of like he's every time he run around, he's hurt. All of a sudden, about 4 games ago, guys, Odell Beckham started juking and jumping back and doing the old things of Odell Beckham. I said, oh my God, if this guy can stay healthy, he's a top 5 wide receiver in the league with his expertise as running routes. And he is. And guys, I'm telling you, them double moves, you know how Odell Beckham is with them double moves? Guys, he looks tremendous. I'm not saying he's running a 4.4, 4.3 like he used to, but even at a 4.6, that guy's so quick. I mean, his lower body pause is probably a phenomenal upper echelon type athlete where he's so fluent with his hips and route run. It's impeccable. It's impeccable. So this guy stays healthy. Lamar got his #1. I just need him to stay healthy. So, guys, I love Odell Beckham getting behind the defense. You cannot come up and stop Lamar Jackson running the ball with his legs, improvising in the backfield, trying to make guys miss to extend the play, and stick to Odell Beckham and Zay Flowers and Isaiah Likely. You can't do it. So, guys, I love Odell Beckham and Zay Flowers. I'm playing both of them together. So those guys are tremendous. They booming up the rankings right now. They better not be on your waivers. Okay. Let's move. Let's go forward. Let's go on to my 4th guy, and this is the quarterback. And here is Jake Browning. Yes, guys, Jake Browning. And the reason why I believe that Jake Browning is trending, guys, he had 2 back-to-back boom games, top 5. And he boomed, and that didn't even use Jamar Chase. So this guy is looking good. I'm not saying he's the next best backup quarterback or he's just as good as Joe Burrow, but he looks good in this offense. And I got to give that head coach some Tyler. I think that's his name. I got to give him some props. I thought he wasn't a good head coach. I thought it was just a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase thing, but he looks good with Jake Browning. So, guys, if you need to stream a quarterback, I don't mind you picking up Jake Browning. I'm not really big into Nick Mullins or anybody else, but right now, Jake Browning is proved that he can play in this system. He's getting the ball out quick, and the scheme is really good. All right, guys, moving on. The next guy, and this guy's easy, is Derrick Henry. Now, listen, Derrick Henry struggled in the beginning of the year. But right now, it looks like that Derrick Henry is probably going to be booming. I think his playoff schedule, I think he got a nice playoff schedule, if I'm not mistaken, where he could end up being a top 5 running back at the end of the season. So, guys, Derrick Henry has a nice matchup. You play him. Don't worry about what he's done in the past. Right now, you got an elite running back because of the scheme, and also Will Levis getting better. So I love Derrick Henry. Moving on to a wide receiver, and this guy's from Kansas City, is Rashee Rice. Guys, Rashee Rice is the #1 wide receiver for them. Now, listen, they struggling, but Kadarius Toney, they can't trust him. They can't trust MVS. The only guy that they can trust right now is a rookie, and it's Rashee Rice. Again, I like playing rookies at the end of the season because they finally come into their own. So I love Rashee Rice. He's the #1 target outside of Travis Kelce the last 3 weeks. So he's trending up. You play him every week. No questions asked. Moving on, guys, to another guy that's a quarterback is Tommy DeVito from the Giants. Tommy DeVito, with his legs, is extending the plays and making stuff happen. Guys, I'm not going to cap. He looks better than Danny. He looks better than Danny Downs. I can't sit there and cap. So I believe this team is going to be dangerous. I still like Jalen Hyatt, definitely like Saquon Barkley, and Isaiah Hodgins is playing better. And Darren Waller, for ones who kept Darren Waller might even be decent coming back. Danny DeVito looks good, guys. When you get outside the pocket like that and you know when to do it, it's hard to beat you. And that's why he won that game last week, guys. So I like Tommy DeVito. Make sure you pick him up if you need a quarterback. Him and Jake Browning is the few quarterbacks that I'm willing to pick up and stream in these playoffs. All right, going on, guys. And this guy is Alpha. Early in the season, he did good. And in the middle of the season, he started struggling. But then I told y'all that Arthur Smith needed to get him the ball in order to keep his job. And he's been doing it. It's Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is a league-winning running back, and he's trending. Because they running pass plays with him like he's Tyreek Hill in motion and stuff. They finding any type of way to get him the ball. No more Tyler Algier coming in and sniping his carries at the goal line. So that's why I love Bijan Robinson. You should feel great. Most of you are, but I just want to let you know what you got. Like you got something special. Don't think, man, Bijan, I hope Arthur. Don't hope nothing. He's there. It's Bijan now is a top 5 running back. He's not a rookie anymore. Giving him full. Listen, they got to make the playoffs. I won't be surprised if Bijan get 25 carries this week, 30 carries. They're gonna bell cow him fully out. So I love Bijan Robinson. Moving on, guys. I got a couple more guys for you. The next guy is a tight end. This guy is Trey McBride. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Also, put your comments in the comment section, and I will get to everybody's questions. So just be patient with me, guys. I appreciate you. But yes, guys, Trey McBride. I've been on Trey McBride for a while. So I'm playing Trey McBride everywhere. He's the number 1 wide receiver on this team. I said what I said. Trey McBride is the number 1 wide receiver on this team. Now, he may be playing tight end, but tight end position has changed. You can be a wide receiver now in the NFL with these great offensive coordinators. So Trey McBride is the number one guy that's getting targets on this team. I'm starting him no matter what. I don't care the match. I don't care if they play in San Francisco. I also like Kyler Murray. Y'all seen that video? I just posted it about an hour ago. I love Kyler Murray too. I don't care. Kyler Murray has been eating San Francisco up for years. Since his rookie year, he beat a Super Bowl bound team. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but he whooped them as a rookie. He put up like 40 point. He put up 30 points on them as a rookie. So what do you think he's going to do now that he still knows it's still the same team? So they don't really play Kyler well. That San Francisco defense, they never have. Every single year. So I love Trey McBride. Moving on, guys, to Matthew Stafford. I told a couple of you to start Matthew Stafford last week. Guys, I go back and watch a lot of the stuff that I tell y'all to do. I'm wrong on some things, but some of those things I'm not being disingenuous. I'm like, well, bro, what do you expect? I went down with the best guy that I thought. And when I hit, it's the same thing. It ain't nothing that I need a pat on the back, but it's Matthew Stafford. I didn't care nothing about no Baltimore Ravens. So that's the type of philosophy that I do. So I don't, when y'all say good job, it ain't really a good job. It's Matthew Stafford. I don't care if you're playing the 85 Bears, you're going to sit Matthew Stafford to go play who? Even I like Tommy DeVito, but I'm not sitting no damn Matthew Stafford for no Tommy DeVito. Even if Tommy DeVito go for 50 points, I still made the right decision. I'm not going to play fantasy and look at the points and sit back and say, well, who had the best game? You was wrong because that's the guy that had the best game. No, my decision is right now. The starts and sits, the guys that I'm breaking down right now, this is what I need to be judged off of. You can't wait for the results. Only way I'm going to tell you the wrong guy is he don't get no snaps. He don't get no targets. That's when I got to take accountability for. But sometimes, guys, you got to play a guy, he don't end up having a really great fantasy week. But you still have to start him. Cooper Kupp, you know why I hit on Cooper Kupp? Because it's Cooper Kupp. It ain't no science. It wasn't no, well, against Baltimore, Marlon Humphrey. It ain't none of that. It's Cooper Kupp. Play your studs. Now, listen, this is where I could be chastised. In 18 leagues, it's fair game. You can sit Cooper Kupp in 18 leagues because there's so many studs out there on the waivers. But in 12-team leagues, you got to go down with the ship. Get your guys and play them. D-Hop. If you would have sit D-Hop, you would have been bad. You would have been mistaken. You got to play. You got to keep playing your guys. If you know they're getting the targets, you just play them. So I don't want to go on a tangent, guys, and I'm not getting on to you. Please don't take it the wrong way. This is my content. This is the way I play fantasy football. And that's why when y'all be like, hey, Terry, good hit. It's the same thing every week. Now, sometimes I might get a little cute. It just depends. And like I said, I'm not right on everything, but most of the time I'm going to play my stud. So moving on, guys. The next guy's Deebo Samuel. That's the same thing. If you traded Deebo, now he's headed now. And that's sometimes you got to trade a guy or you got to drop a guy because you got to move forward. You can't miss the playoffs trying to hold on to a guy. I'm not saying that. But if you can hold on to a guy, eventually fantasy going to come back around. All right, I got a super chat in the building. Rock out. I see you, bro. He says play better. D in Dallas or Indy better matchup. Okay. D in Dallas or Indy D. Dallas D or Indy D better matchup. Let's see here. Let's see here. I think you got to play Dallas D. I know it's against Josh Allen. Right. They did. They did. They balled out. Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Since you got Dallas defense, bro, right? Indy versus Pitt. I know. I see it. I see it. I'm looking at it. It sounds easy to go with Indy, bro, but sometimes just because the matchup, that defense ain't got no studs. They ain't got nobody that can rush the pass, so they ain't got no lockdown corner. They a good all overall team, but I don't know if they're gonna take advantage of the Steelers. Steelers got a great coach. Dallas got studs out there. They can turn the ball over. I'm gonna tell you this: if you want to go with the matchup, it's Indianapolis. If you want to go with the team who got the best talent, who can turn the ball over, who can get more turnovers, interceptions, forced fumbles, it's Dallas. So I don't know how your defense is built up. If your team league is built off of who gonna score less points, then you got to go with the Colts. I think the Steelers could be scored maybe 14-17. I do believe that the Bills can score maybe 17-21, but I believe they're gonna have a couple of turnovers too because of Dallas. So it just depends on your scoring system. If you want turnovers, Dallas defense. If you want the less amount of points, I would say the Colts D. Great question though, bro. Great question. So Debo Samuels, guys. I love Debo Samuel. I haven't been on him, but you got to play. You know, and y'all know this. I'm just telling you, he's trending right now, and I'm just making an example how players all of a sudden start skyrocketing. That's what this video is mainly about. So imagine if you like, Debo ain't doing this and this, but now it's his time. And then even Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle still playing good, but it's Debo time. So Debo went 5-6 weeks where he was like not even the top 12 wide, not even top 24 wide receiver, but right now he's booming. So that's why you got to stash the guys. Don't drop guys, stash them. If they're not playing good, but they they elite, just stash them. And last but not least, guys, Lamar Jackson. And I know a lot of you was like, Titty, man, Lamar is killing me. He was killing me, and he killed me. And I didn't make the playoffs in a couple of leagues that I had Lamar. And because he didn't start hitting until right at the end. But I held on to him. So now I'm in the playoffs. I got a better team than if I'd have traded Lamar and I would have picked up another quarterback, Brock Purdy. You might say, well, I would have Brock Purdy. I don't. I want Lamar Jackson right now. That's who's going to take me. That's who's going to go for 40 point, 50 point, 40 point, 50 point. That's who's going to help me win a championship. Brock Purdy is good. I could win a championship with him, but I'd rather have a Lamar. I'd rather go down with the ship. So getting into the playoffs, I'm holding on to a stud that I know is a stud. That's all I'm saying. Don't drop your studs. These guys change around. Look at the rankings right now that are skyrocketing, guys that are skyrocketing, and go back and look at the first 7 weeks or 8 weeks. Totally different lists. Totally different lists. Maybe Brock Purdy, a couple other guys might be on there. All right. So, guys, let me get to the comment section. Zach says, I have both Tyreek and Nico Collins. What do you think about their injuries? Do you think they will play good going forward? I think Tyreek Hill will. You see, he looked good coming back in the game. Nico, I'm worried about because there's no CJ Stroud. If CJ Stroud comes back and Nico comes back, then I do believe that they could be top 24 guys. I believe that Tyreek is going to be a top 12 guy. Top 5, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he will be. I won't be surprised. But I know he's at least going to be a top 12 guy if he plays. So I feel great about Tyreek. Nico, you might have to move forward and get the next best guy. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Don't drop them. Don't drop them. But sometimes you got to move forward. What's popping? What's good, bro? What's going on, D-Lion? He says, going into the playoff with C.J. Stroud and Josh Dobbs. I know, bro. You got to see, I know. It be like that. Go pick up some of these quarterbacks, man. Go pick up Joe Flacco. Go pick up Tommy DeVito. Go pick up some of these guys. Now play C.J. Stroud if he's active, but go get you one quarterback and play you a player, a tight end or something at the super flex position. You just make it work. You can make it work. Black Baines, appreciate you, bro. Travis, what's good, bro? He says, great call on DeVito. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. Now, that's a guy that I did go in and try to pick out as a sleeper. I picked him out, so I'll take that. Brian says, start Collar or Stafford this week. I'm going with Stafford. I'm going with Matthew Stafford. Brian says, made playoff in all my leagues. Congratulations to you, bro. He says, only have a bye in one of them. Probably going to lose both matches, but going to go down with the ship. Shout out to this channel. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Don't worry about, don't say you're going to lose. You don't know what's going to happen. Don't nobody know what's going to happen. Fantasy is crazy, man. Listen, I had a league. I had a team that I was the third seed, had Tyreek. I think I was like 8 and something. I think I was 7-5. 7 something like that. I don't know what my record was, but I know I had a good team. And Tyreek got hurt and I lost. And it knocked me straight out of the play because I had a tie. I was tied with like 3 other teams, and they had a couple more points than me, and I'm out the playoffs. I'm sick. That team was a beast. But it be like that sometimes. But you never know what's going to happen. Mr. Anderson, what's up, bro? Will Hayes says, what up, bro? What's up? Yes, sir. He says, need a defense this week, Chicago or LA Rams? Man, I don't want to tell anybody to play with the Rams. I think the Commanders could have a good game. They coming off a bye week. Teams coming off a bye week, bro, are above 50% in the NFL. They almost like 65 to 70% coming off a bye week with wins. It's hard to beat a team. Now, I'm not saying that they're gonna lose, like the Rams gonna lose, but the shutdowns, Sam Howell, I don't know. I guess I go with the Rams. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about any of those defenses. I would rather you go have the Las Vegas Raiders or somebody else. But if I had to go down with it, I guess I'll go with the Rams with a rookie quarterback instead of going against Joe Flacco, who's been throwing the ball around 40 times a game with a David Njoku and Amari Cooper playing this week. So I'll probably go with the Rams. Will Hayes says, need one for my flex. Jacobs, A-Chain, or Chandler. I'm going with A-Chain. What's going on, Renzo? I see you, bro. Marvin, here you go, bro. He said, is Pacheco going to play Sunday? I don't know. I doubt it. You got to keep watching, bro. So you probably going to have to go ahead and make a pivot move right now in case he doesn't. But I doubt it. And even if he does, man, you got to lower your expectations coming off the injury. He still should be solid. If he's going to play, he still should be solid. He still should be a top 24 RB. But I would go ahead and make moves like he wasn't going to play. And just keep watching the news. And I'll keep you informed, bro. Renzo says, big facts. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Dirt Bike Addict says, how do you feel about this lineup? Stafford, Puka, CD, DK Water, Kamara, Eckler, Bijan, and Likely. I love it. I love that you go ahead and play in Eckler. I love that lineup. Marvin, appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. That's fam, guys. That's fam. We from the hometown. He married to my cousin. Shoot, they've been married longer than they've been married for years. That's old school fashion love for you. Black Bank says they stayed in my flex out. There you go. Hey, listen, Mr. Anderson told me, man. He said, man, I'm gonna put you on to one of my homeboys, man. He said, bro, he played just like you. So, bro, you killing it. I'm flattered. I'm flattered because he said your line. He can tell the way you make your lineups. He said you gotta have Kenneth Gainwell. He said, man, I can tell he watched your channel. So, bro, I kept Zay in my line. I never been Zay. I never ever been Zay the whole season. And that's sometimes I went down with the ship. Sometimes you got to do that. Let me see. Mr. Anderson said A-Chain is Zeke. I'm going with A-Chain. Brian says thoughts on starting 2 tight ends. Hey, that's okay. I'm not gonna do it with no Goddard. I'm not starting no Goddard. I'm not saying he garbage, but not as a tight end in the flex. Now, you start McBride no matter what. You could put him in the flex or the tight end spot. I wouldn't put Goddard in the tight end spot and then start McBride. You says I have Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Chase Brown, Nico on my bench. If Aaron Jones is healthy, I would start Aaron Jones over Goddard. If Josh Jacobs is healthy, I would start Josh Jacobs over Goddard. I might not start Chase Brown over him. Excuse me. I might not start Chase Brown over him or Nico because since he's hurt. But I would try to find somebody else better than Goddard. I'm still going with A-Chain over Connor. I love Connor, but I'm going A-Chain. You got to go down with the ship. They need A-Chain. This is an A-Chain game. Tyreek is a little bit beat up. They got to go down with the ship. It's going to be a lot of A-Chain. A-Chain going to get the ball a lot in open space. So you got to play A-Chain no matter what. No matter what the situation. You need to try to get Connor. And if you can't get Connor and Zeke in there, you get him in there. But you don't put them up against A-Chain. You ride them guys out. Father of 3 says, respect your ground, bro. Playoffs, let's go. Start your studs. Don't get cute. There you go. There you go. There you go. Like I said, man, I always put my numbers against everybody. I mean, I'm trying to think about I'm looking at my list that I had last week. Now, Jonathan Mingo, that's another guy. Guys, he didn't have a great output. I love Jonathan Mingo. I'm not saying he's a star this week, but I love him. You see all them targets he got? He could have had a big game. Bryce Young missed him. So I'm just looking at some of the guys that I talked about. I talked about Chuba Hubbard. He had a good game. I talked about Tajay Spears. He had a good game. Let me see. Who else? Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson had a decent game. Joe Flacco. Elijah Moore game was okay. Darnell Mooney didn't hit. It was okay. Jalen Hyatt. And those guys that I would say, okay, I didn't hit on those guys. But those guys are still great plays. You still should be starting those guys. Don't start them over no stud like Amari Cooper. But if you need a flex play and you're looking at who to play, I'm playing Jalen Hyatt and guys like Darnell Mooney. That's how you win. Guys are getting big-time targets. They got a lot of A-dot, but they're just not clicking on it. Appreciate that, bro. Marvin says, I got a quarterback issue this week. Jordan Love and Matthew Stafford. I'm going with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford guys, his matchup is boom. No questions asked about no Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is a top 3 quarterback this week. I said what I said. Matthew Stafford is a top 3 quarterback. I'm playing Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp gonna boom and Puka Nacua gonna boom. And Kyron Williams gonna boom. They booming against Washington. I said what I said. Uh-oh. Aladdin says, what up, bro? Star one, Mouse or Hubbard? Man, Mouse been disappointing me. That's been the guy that I missed on. But I think a lot of people have been talking about Mouse. I mean, any channel said you had to start Mouse. I mean, he was a top 5 running back beginning of the season without Jonathan Taylor. Now he's been with a top 40 running back. And watch. I'm about to tell you to play Hubbard and watch Zach Moss go off. And I'm not gonna try to take no credit for that because I get it. After 2 weeks of this, I'm gonna go with Hubbard. I'm gonna go with Chuba Hubbard. He's catching passes. I feel great about him catching passes. I'm going with Chuba Hubbard. Rockout says Dallas had 10. Right, they did. Which that's got to be high in your league because they balled out. They gave up 3 points to get to Philly. They only gave up 3 points. And I think I told my boy Isaac. Isaac was like, TD, man, should I drop the Dallas defense? And I went on the soliloquy. I said, bro, do not drop no Dallas defense. And I went on a soliloquy about 5 minutes. He said, you know what, TD, you right, man. That's still the #1 defense. It is. And listen, they still against a great matchup. Is it anything that told me the intel on that? No, it wasn't nothing that told me the intel. Now, listen, I do got great insight. Don't get it twisted now. I do got a talent for this. I do got great insight of looking at talent and filling out things and watching the game. I've been around football for over 30 years. But I wasn't going to drop no Dallas defense for no, sir. I don't care who they was playing. I don't care if they was playing the 1990 San Francisco 49ers with Jerry Rice and John Taylor. I wasn't dropping them. So they end up hitting against Philly. I didn't know they was going to do that damn good, but they still did really well. So hold on to teams that you know is good. Don't worry about the tough matchup. Now, if you can find a better matchup and stash that team, you do it. But don't drop them. Do not drop like a top 5 anything at any position right now. Shit, I'm not dropping a top 12 at nothing. Would I drop a top 16? Yes, I will to make a better play. But I'm not dropping nobody that's top 12. I'm not dropping a top 12 defense. I'm not dropping a top 12 play. I'm not dropping a top 12 quarterback. I stash them. Indy versus Pitt. Right. And I just think Pitt might score low, but I don't know how many turnovers they might get. So that's the thing with that. He says likely of McBride. I'm going with McBride. Likely, listen, Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback. He likely can get open with him. McBride is getting 12 targets a game, man. I got to go with the targets right here. McBride is he is him. Hey, I'm telling y'all, and I shouldn't be doing that because I got guys that are in my leagues that are watching this video right now. I'm trying to trade Travis Kelce in the Dynasty League for McBride. Now, I didn't like doing it head up because I think I needed a little bit more because I already had Kelce. So Kelsey's worth a little bit more in a tight end premium league. But I didn't get it done, but I tried to do it. The guy wouldn't go for it. For whatever reason. Sometimes they won't do it because anybody that I ask for, they already like, I don't know, TD. You might know something I don't know. I love Trey McBride. I think he's going to be a top 5 tight end into next year. I'm giving y'all content for next year. I love Trey McBride. Rockout says, and go Cowboys kicker too. I like Young Hung Ko this week. I can see him kicking 2 or 3 40+ yard field goals. I can see that. I can see them scoring 24 points and he kicking about 2 or 3 field goals. So I like Young Hung Ko, but you can play the Cowboys kicker. They should score points. So I don't know how many points you get for extra points. He might have 2 field goals. Who knows? It's kickers. Kickers shouldn't really matter that much. Play the best guys and call it a day. Don't try to overanalyze it. Now, if they outside and it's going to be raining, that does matter. That does matter. But if you got a kicker that's inside of a dorm, just play him. That's all you can do. What's up, Isaac? What's up, bro? He says, going down with the ship. Yes, sir. Armado, he said, what's up, bro? Made the playoffs in 3 or 4 leagues. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, too. Brian says, should I pick up Todd Chandler? Yes, bro. You pick him up. He's a major pickup. Major pickup. Gabriel, he says, yo, TD, in the playoffs in 4 or 5 leagues, need your advice. Start 1. Montgomery, Connor, Moss, Zamir White. I'm going with Montgomery. Let me make sure. I'm going with Montgomery slightly over Connor. And it says 2, Drake London or Jaden Reed. I'm going with Drake London. That's another guy that I was on. I've been telling y'all about Drake London. I told people to play Drake London. Listen, I'm not going to take no victory lap off one game, right? But the reason why I hold on to these guys is because of what happened, how they boom in the playoffs. Guys, don't you know you can get have a killer team and then you get blew out by some players that you thought was like bottom feeders? That's why I tell you not to drop these guys. At least stash them on your team. Fantasy works that way. That's why I tell you to hold on to these guys. And sometimes y'all take that as my content. That's not my content. I know about Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I'm starting them just like you started them. I'm starting CMC just like you started them. But what my channel difference is, TD, should I drop Drake London for Stephon Diggs? Nope. TD, Stephon Diggs? Nope. Is Drake London better than Stephon? Not necessarily, but is Drake London, is he going to be booming because he's the number 1 and that team is going to be having to push the ball downfield because they're trying to make the playoffs over a guy maybe like Stephon Diggs? And this is I'm just using an example. But yes, that happens. So yeah, bro, I would say Montgomery. And then I would say Drake London. Montgomery, Drake London, and Connor is a third guy that I would try to get in my lineup over Moss and Zamir and Jaden Reed. Isaac says Noah Brown or Palmer in the flex for the boom. I'm gonna say neither, bro. You got to get somebody better than those 2 guys. This is the playoffs, bro. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm gonna be for real about a lot of things differently than I'll be in a regular season. You can't start neither one of those guys. It's somebody out there on the waivers that's better. Let me think. Before I say who's out there better on the waivers. I would start DeMarcus Robinson over Noah Brown and Palmer. I said what I said. I would start DeMarcus Robinson over Noah Brown and Palmer. You got Chris Godwin that I might, if you could get him. You got Josh Reynolds. You got Darnell Mooney that I will play over Noah. CJ Stroud was there, it would be Noah Brown easy. I can't go with Easton Stick for no Joshua Palmer. I can't do it. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Josh Downs. I would play Josh Downs over Noah Brown and Josh Palmer. Parker Washington from Jacksonville. Elijah Moore, Rashid Shaheed over Noah Brown. With those quarterbacks, I'm not playing either one of those guys with those quarterbacks. Vito says, hey, TD, I got my buy, so don't any advice, just showing love, hitting that like. Yeah, you good, bro. I got that buy too. Congratulations to you, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Country Machine says, hey, yo, hit that like. 18 in here, 11 likes. Yes, guys, to get the likes up. Let me see. Thank you for letting me know that, bro. Thank you for letting me know that. We got 17 likes. Let's get the likes up, guys. Isaac said, you was right about Dallas D. Right. And I'm not taking no victory lap, but bro, it was easy. See, I would guess you call it my superpower. It was only reason why it's Dallas defense, bro. Matchups don't matter. It's football, bro. Anybody can win, bro. You remember Joe Namath beat that team, that coach team. They say that coach team is still one of the best teams in the history of the game. They blew everybody out that year. They beat everybody by like 21 points. The whole season, it was easy. And then Joe Namath them whooped them. They thought it was even like it was a money thing. They thought they like the mob came in on this. It was so how did the Jets beat them? The Jets had lost 4 or 5 games. It's football. It's football matchups, and heart comes in. Big Will, what's up, bro? He says need a counselor too. Let's set it up. I got you, bro. Email me. Email me at fantasygoodesports@gmail.com. And we'll talk about a time that you open, and then we'll set it up. So just hit me up in my email, bro, and say, TD, I need a consultation, and I got you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you too, bro. Appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. Isaac says, picked up the Raiders like you said. Yep. I told, about 2 weeks ago, I told people to stash the Las Vegas Raiders. Country Machine says, I grabbed Levis over Flacco. Wilson Minshew. No other decent options. I just feel like Levis is playing hard and is going to feed Hopkins like never before. I can still make a change. You good, bro? I'm not going to sit here and doubt you. I would play Flacco over Levis, and the Cleveland got a really good team. Flacco was flowing with that team. Now that's on. Will Levis, to me, he's a rookie. He can still make a mistake. That's the only thing. But I'm not gonna sit here and chastise you over that. Listen, you told me what your ship was. I ain't going against your ship. I told y'all I'm not here to change your mind. If you tell me, if you give me a reason why you going with something, I might disagree, but I'm not gonna chastise you. But if you just pick a guy because, well, his name is better, then I'm gonna be like, be careful. You pick a Levis because you like the way he's playing. You like that he's trending, and he's a young quarterback pushing the ball downfield to D-Hop. I get that. Just because I always do something different, I'm going to give you my opinion, but I'm not going to sit here and chastise you. Bro, I think that's a nice move. I think it's a decent move. Mr. Anderson says, in all my leagues I'm in, except Dynasty, all the teams that drafted Kelsey did not make the playoffs. Right. Now, Kelsey was good, but you took him too early. You took Kelsey too early. A lot of people took him too early. In tight end premium, you couldn't take him too early. In tight end premium, he was like a quarterback. In my leagues, man, I mean, y'all might have him for 15 points. He might score 27 in my league because it's tight end premium for first downs and all that. So, it's just different. I do tight end premium. Rich says, TD, what's good? It's the playoff time. Let's go. Smash the like and trust the process. Appreciate the cutting edge content. Thank you, bro. And what makes mine cutting edge isn't some type of algorithm. It's going down with the ship where a lot of content creators tell you to get off your studs and stuff just because of their game log. Where I'm the type of guy that told you to trust Christian Watson when he started booming. I told you to trust Drake London when he started booming. I told you to buy low on Bijan Robinson. I told you to buy low on Jordan Love. I told you Tyreek was going to be the number 1 wide receiver and better than any player in the history of the game ever. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, top 5 player of all time. Those are what makes me cutting edge. It isn't that. Hey guys, you know that Will Levis ADOT is 8.5, and when it's 8.5, that equals the number 3 quarterback in any fantasy league. Now I don't do that. I can do that. I can sit down and do that, but I think that's disingenuous. I think that's not real football. If that was the case, then people would be killing Vegas. All they had to do is look at the stats. But you know who kills Vegas? When you go with your heart. Oh, I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to go with the New York Giants to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Bam, you hit. Wasn't that going to tell you to go with the New York Giants to beat the Patriots? Other than you watching the game, they could get out the passer. That's what makes me cutting edge. It's not no algorithm. It's not no numbers. It's not me saying some crazy stuff that nobody else is saying, other than me trusting my guys. I do say stuff that nobody else says, but it's different. Okay. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Brian says start most of the Zeke and the flex. I have Bijan and Saquon starting. I would start Mostert. I like Zeke, but I'm not gonna bench a Mostert that's on an optimal team. Now, if Tyreek don't play, I might go with Zeke. It's all about Tyreek. Now, if Tyreek's there, I'm going with Mostert. But I'm not going to go with Zeke just because he had a nice game and caught a lot of passes and sit a top 5 running back like Mostert. I'm not going to do that. So play Mostert if Tyreek plays. If Tyreek don't play, I probably would still play Mostert, but you could play Zeke. That makes sense why you would do that. Isaac says Aubrey is perfect. Right. That boy, hey, that man booting that ball. That boy had a 60-yard field goal and made it from 70. No cap. Gable says KC defense or Falcons. Man, I think the Falcons is my play. Let me look at this Kansas City. Let me make sure, man. I'm not just gonna say. I'm gonna go with the Falcons. It's Kansas City got a nice matchup too. I like that defense. You know, I talked about that defense all year, but I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I'm going with the Falcons. Big Wheel says, "What up, TD? At work and missing the live. Advice for starting too. A-Chain, Montgomery, and Cook. I'm going with A-Chain." And Montgomery. I'm going with A-Chain and I love Cook, but Montgomery getting that goal line opportunity, man. I'm not going to be disingenuous to that goal line opportunity. Broncos can be had on the run game. I'm going with A-Chain and Montgomery. Conscious says, I've had Aubrey all year. I can't wait till he finally misses one in the playoffs for Kyle Garrels to lose. Come on, man. We ain't no Kyle Garrels. We beast. We winning the Super Bowl this year. I said what I said. The Cowboys, not Cowgirls, Cowboys are winning. We winning the Super Bowl. We the best team in the NFC. Ozzy says Aubrey not missing. He hits bombs too. Not no gimme field goals. Right. He does. He hit 50 out, 40. He got a Jerry Jones can find some talent. What's up, Juan? What's up, bro? Guys, I play high school football with him. I've been knowing him over 20 years. This is my homeboy. He says Lamar Jackson or Stafford. I'm going with Lamar Jackson slightly over Stafford. Stafford is the number 2, number 3 quarterback. I would say Lamar is the number 1. So I would say Lamar slightly over Stafford. Either way, you can't go wrong. Brian says Bears D or Jets D. I'm going with the Jets D. I like Joe Flacco, man. I just can't say the Bears D is going to shut down. That's tough, man. Listen, it's like this. If Tyreek plays, I would go with the Bears. If Tyreek plays, why not? Go with the Bears. If Tyreek play, then I'm going with the Jets. But if he plays, I'm going with the Bears. It's just that easy. I just don't feel like the Bears are going to really shut down Cleveland. I think Cleveland going to have a good offensive week this week. So just because Joe Flacco, that don't mean that they're going to have a lot of turnovers. Big Will says, I grabbed Las Vegas DST and grabbed Zamir White since my opponent has Jacobs. Made the playoffs in both leagues because of your wisdom. 30 point, 40 point. Thank you, bro. Now, y'all did it. I just helped out. I did help. I helped confirm it. Y'all know who to start. If I tell y'all to sit Patrick Mahomes for a bench player, you ain't going to do it. So y'all know it. So I just helped out. And I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate y'all watching the content. I really do. Rich says, Ravens D versus the Jags or Rams versus Washington? I'm going to go with the Ravens D versus the Jaguars against Trevor Lawrence. If Mixon goes down, Chase Brown going to go crazy. Speed kills. I agree. I talked about chasing all in all season. For your information, I played London and my studs, like you said, and I'm in it to win it. Yes, sir, bro. Yep. You made that move. I didn't make you put London in there. You made that move. I just told you that I would play London. Isaac says Demario Douglas PPR. He a PPR monster. Weston says, should I start Kyler or T-Law? And in the flex, should I play Likely or Higgins or Douglas? I would play Kyler over T-Law. And I would play Higgins for the upside. The safest play is Douglas. Likely is a tight end. I don't think you can really chase that. What he's doing, he might boom, but you ain't no science going to tell you how Likely going to boom every week. I don't think he's got there yet. I could be wrong. He could go out and boom again, right? He could be that. He could have arrived. To me, I would rather play Higgins. He's a guy's going to get targets. He got some boom. So I would play Higgins over Douglas. Douglas is just safe. Likely just he could boom bust guy, boom bust tight end. I'm not playing a boom bust tight end in the flex. And I'm playing Kyler Murray over T-Law. Armado says Najee Harris, Jerome Ford, Todd Chandler, or Tajay Spears got to start too. Todd Chandler, if a Madison is out. And Jerome Ford, if he's healthy. If he doesn't practice all week, then you might have to get off of him and go to I'm gonna say Najee slightly over T Spears because if the matchup was bad, I would say T Spears. I think Derrick Henry's gonna run all over the Houston Texans. I think Derrick Henry's gonna run off. So I don't think Tajay Spears was really gonna have a great fantasy. He could have a big run or one big pass play. I think Najee get 15 touches. So I'm going to go with Todd Chandler and Ford at Ford practices. If he gets in a couple practices this week, then I'm going with Ford. If he don't practice and it's a game time decision, I will go with Najee Harris. So I will go with Chandler and Najee if Ford doesn't practice. Will says, I have Dallas defense, but I also have Josh Allen. Do I still play Dallas defense? No. You stash and you pivot off of that. If you can. Go to the Las Vegas defense or somebody. Go to another defense. Now, if you got to go to a raggedy defense, don't do it. But try not to play your quarterback because you're gonna hurt on one end. But you definitely don't sit Josh Allen. You definitely don't sit Josh Allen unless you got another stud like a Matthew Stafford. If you had Matthew Stafford, you might could pivot if you thought Dallas defense was going to play good and do that. But really, 90% of the time, you don't got no Matthew Stafford. So play Josh Allen and try to find another defense. Conjure says, I got Las Vegas. Do I play Browns or Raiders? I wouldn't play in the Raiders. I would play the Raiders. I think Justin Fields has the good games against Cleveland. I think this game could be 24-21. I think both teams put up good points. So I would go to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's who I would play. OBJ or Jay Reed? OBJ. That's easy. Especially with Reed being hurt. I'm going with OBJ. Conscious says Kelsey is my big money league, is in my big money league and on one of my Yahoo playoff teams. I drafted Hawk and Travis, laugh out loud. It worked. right? Like I said, when teams are built different, it's 9 ways to skin a cat. Josh, what's up, bro? He said, appreciate you, TD. Half-point PPR star Pop or Josh Palmer. Out of those two, I'll Pop. I don't think Josh Palmer's going to boom with no Eastern stick. Rich says, does the Raiders defense make it up to a top 5 defense this week? Yes, sir. They do. They do. With Eastern stick. I don't want to get cute. I was going to play the Ravens versus the Jags. Man, I actually think just because you got the Raiders this week, I think that defense matches up just as good. I'm willing to sit the Ravens. Now, you don't have to. The Ravens going to be okay against Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence ain't trapped liver. He could put up 14 to 17 points. That's still a good output for a defense. I would rather go with I like the Raiders defense a little bit better. I think the Ravens defense this week, top 3, maybe better. And like I said, Brian, I probably would go with the Bears defense if Tyreek Hill plays. Odd says, I want to see Angry Reed. He looked hot after that dirty drag down. Right. They're going to stop that tackle. That tackle going away. You ain't going to be able to drop your hip. And I hate it. It's going to really go to a different type of football, but I get it. Odd says, my brother dropped Pop Douglas. Should I pick him up and play him? Nah. I wouldn't play him, but I would try to pick him up and stash him if I got room. Dirt Boy, what's good, bro? He says, TD, what's good, TD? I'm in the playoffs in every league that I'm in. Thanks for your help, bro. Everyone hit the like button. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Rich says Jets play Washington next week. If you have room on your bench this week, that's 15 to 20 points next week. Be careful with that. Listen, man. Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell ain't chopped liver. They might not win the game, but Sam Howell done put up 300 yards like 80% of the time this year. 80% of the time, that boy didn't put up 300 yards with maybe a couple touchdowns. We might have threw some bigs, but that boy puts up points. So I'm not just going to sit there and say that's a game that the Jets can lose. You got to understand, this is football. Ain't nothing consistent. But are you willing to – now, if it was like a backup quarterback, oh, yeah, I'm riding that out. I'm not going to go with that because Sam Howell has played good against elite defenses a couple times. He ain't won the game, but he put up 300 yards. So just be careful with trying to target the Washington defense. Washington offense. That's why I'm not high on the Rams. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to target the Washington offense. That offense puts up points. Isaac says, Max and the boys are coming for their hockey stick. Yes, sir. I know where you got that from. I forgot who was calling it a hockey stick. Aladdin. What's up, brother? He said, would you start McBride over Moss and Hubbard? No, I wouldn't. In full PPR, I might. It's close, man. And half PPR, no. I would start Hubbard and then Moss. I love Moss, but he got a hard matchup against Pittsburgh. So I would say half point PPR, I would go with Herbert, but McBride and Moss. Full PPR, I would go with McBride, Hubbard, and Moss. Weston says Howell or Collar. I'm going with Collar. I'm going with Collar Murray. Weston says I probably will get Howell off waivers. Should I play him or Collar? No. Get Howell definitely off waivers so nobody else going to pick him up and play Collar over him. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm going to get ready to get out of here, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Guys, I hit a lot. I was yesterday. I'm glad I did the early waiver video. I felt like y'all was going to be okay because I gave you the early waiver wire, and I was also working the comment section. But I had a lot of things going on at work that I had to deal with, so that's why I didn't be able to. I couldn't go live yesterday. But I will be doing videos, ranking starts and stuff like that all out through the week. Some deep sleepers maybe. If you got any recommendations, put it in the comment section. I'll try to do that recommendation. And guys, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all guys later. Peace.
alive, look alive. I'm married to that money and I keep her by my side. They thought I wouldn't be shit, so why they face look so surprised. You ain't a real nigga, you just pussy in the skies. Whoa, yeah, look at a nigga now. When I put up to the jeweler, I'ma tell that nigga go and bust it down. Tryna count the money, damn homie, I done lost track of their mind. Turn me up, this that hot shit, it was kinda looking like a drought. I don't do this for the clout, bitch. Okay, turn me up, do your dance on it. She ain't tryna fuck unless you got some bands on it. Okay, turn me up, do your dance on it. She ain't tryna fuck unless you got some racks on it. Okay, turn me up, they don't wanna smoke, I'm in my bag, bitch, I'm rolling up. They say this shit hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business, ain't no money, I